Welcome to day number 20. Day 20 and we are still stuck in the woods. We tried walking the creek line down to the town to see if we could ride that way, but it was no bueno. So we are opting now to go backtrack about 5 k's or so through creek beds. There's one creek crossing coming up shortly that's going to be challenging. It was challenging getting this way, probably a bit harder the other way, and we got really wet boots yesterday. And then we'll join back up to the Junction Spur track, or this is the one. And then from there, hopefully we can get up the ridge line, go across down the ridge line and into town. So it will be entertaining. They've just got scared because we have to cross this river. We just made a commentary coming down the hill. Is your foot stuck? I was about to go on a really good monologue about how much we were wishing we had a bridge, or saying there better be a fucking bridge. Then we come down the hill and it turns out we're swimming our bikes across. Hopefully there's an inflatable raft over there. Hey mate, comfy? You enjoying the little lazy boy you got going on there?
Yeah, paint it like a fisherman.
No.
My foot is actually stuck.
3, 2, 1.
Landslide.
Okay, we are leaving Omeo. We had a decision to make. Do we or do we not push ahead to Tom Groggin track against Tom Groggin campground? We have David and Alison waiting for us at the campground. It's 120 k's to go, it's 3 in the afternoon. You make your own mind up whether we made the right decision. We're pushing on. Hey Zeb, you know ankle sore? We could maybe, you want an ankle transplant?
Splint that right in.
It goes the wrong way though.
Mine will soon, don't worry.
Actually, I think that could work. Yeah, that'll be a good little nub for you.
Hello. We have made it. Day number 20, and we are back on track.
Yeah.
We are back on itinerary, and we are coming to you from Tom Groggin campground. Now, as of 200 metres ago, in New South Wales. How do you feel about, do we want to cover that first? How do you feel after getting out of the debacle of...
The arriving here or getting
night?
out of the debacle?
Out of the debacle.
There wasn't probably much elation, just because it was such a grind.
Right.
And then we were never sure that we were actually out of it.
I think the elation...
Until we got to Dargo.
The elation I had was once we were on top of the ridge that we had to get on top of to then drop into Dargo. I certainly felt some relief at that point.
No, I think mine was actually when we hit Dargo, and I was like, yeah, we've actually no, mine was when we saw a guy in his 4-wheel drive coming up the track and having someone like knowing that there was a route out of where we were and that it was passable by a 4-wheel drive.
And in fact, once we were on top of the ridge and got enough reception to check the map overlay of vehicle traffic and knew that there was, a density of vehicle traffic enough that we knew there was a way.
Yeah, that was that was the moment. Yeah, up there and then seeing that guy come up that ridge was so, like, yes.
I remained pretty anxious. I think we both did, really until that point about, whether we'd get out of the forest. We knew we'd get out, but it was going to be a big day. And I certainly was, hopes of getting to here were waning for me. And I thought, at best we'd get maybe not at best, but at least I hoped we'd get to Dargo or maybe Omeo for the night. But instead we're all the way here.
Yeah.
So this morning we woke up at 6:30 and we opted to walk. So where we were was Castleburn Creek track, which is the dead end track that faffed us about yesterday.
Cost us a lot of daylight.
Cost us a lot of time. And we did push down with the bikes yesterday afternoon, and we camped on that track and we were able to have a swim, which was good last night just to cool down. And then so this morning we opted to get up and walk that track to see, because it used to be a road, or it used to be a track or a road, to see if it was in any way passable. Because it was only about 3 k's that way to a main road-ish that we could then, with no real elevation because it followed the creek lines.
Yeah.
So we walked it really quite hopefully that we could find a way.
Optimistically.
Even we're seeing big logs and holes.
Right. We can get over that. We can manage that.
We
can
would
do that.
absolutely manage the bikes if we needed to if there was a way. But we got to a few points where it was clear that it wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
So we then had 3 options. Option, least preferred option was to go back up the way we'd come the day before, which was really snotty, steep hills that would have been a real challenge. It would have taken us back over the far side, closer to the fire, back to La Cola. That was not ideal. There was the track heading south, further away from Dargo, that was the most steep based on the contours. It had about 600 or 700 meters elevation in about 2 kilometers, and that was really steep. That's the one we attempted last night. That, being tired, it was a no-go.
Yeah, buckled me.
Or there was another track towards kind of the Dargo direction, which is, so we'd come in originally on Junction Spur track. We actually went back out, reconnected to Junction Spur track and continued on that way, and then continued into Scrubby Creek track. So that's the way that we got out. And where we rejoined Junction Spur, it is steep.
And janky and slippery. It was
probably the
everything.
First 500 meters of that. The hill climb goes forever, but the first 500 meters was rutted, rocky, loose rock, step ups, and steep. Luckily, what I would say is luckily there's the spoon drains or the warps every 100 or 200 meters where we could kind of stop, regroup, get your bike up, and then we could both restart from that point. So we could kind of slinky our way up.
Yeah. I think was that the first time I got Josh to ride my bike up one of those
sections?
2 sections?
Yeah.
Well,
one time I didn't ride, I just pushed it.
Yeah, true, actually. Yeah, true. Is that the first time on the trip we've had to do it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Which, with the improvements that I've had, admittedly not hard to improve on what I was initially, but is telling, like,
and the day actually, so in
hard.
fact before that, coming out of just Castleburn Creek, you rolled your ankle again.
Yeah.
At the start of the day.
That hurt.
Which didn't set the tone well. We also had a difficult-ish creek crossing to get through, which we managed to get through pretty well. Then we started on these hill climbs, which they just went forever. Certainly after the first 500 meters, it eased off and we could ride it. Yeah. But we were hot and bothered by the time we got to the top.
Yeah, and we were wet because we had to go through the creek as well.
Yeah, boots were dripping again.
Yep.
So once we got to
pretty miserable start to the day, really.
Yeah, I think I was pretty resolute but
we had to do it.
We had to get up that one and not change our mind and go, maybe the other one's better.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we'd walked the creek, because otherwise the first 100 or so meters of that hill climb, I think I would have thought maybe we should go back and try the creek again. So we just became resolute that this is the one we're going up. And once we got halfway up, we could identify that we got enough reception to check that, yep, this is the way, there's public tracks. So we go, okay, cool, we're going to push up there, we're going to go up.
Once we were up that, we were okay.
Yeah, so the poor Himi took a few hits.
Himi is, well done, Himi.
Himi has
really
done well. The Tenere, it's probably precious, we don't know.
Yeah.
It hasn't been tested.
Yeah. Want me to ride the Tenere for a bit? We'll find out.
No, please. All right, then, so after that, it was very steep dropping down into Dargo. Beautiful views, but easy riding relatively. You could pick your way through it. It was grippy enough to get down, like on your game because it's steep, but quite easy going. And then we eventually got onto the roads into Dargo, and I couldn't believe how green it was.
Oh, it was stunning.
Dargo was just like, it was
gorgeous.
Like dairy kind of country, really. It felt like.
Yeah. Lovely.
Just super green, lovely farmland. And then we arrived at Dargo Hotel, which is a classic. If you're watching this and you're not a motorbike person, then you probably don't know, or motorbike crew will know. Dargo Hotel, famous for bikers, four-wheel drives, very old, historic pub, lots of memorabilia. Everyone's adventure stickers everywhere.
Yeah, publican was grand.
He was great.
Yeah,
Tim Publican, we sought some local knowledge off him about
very helpful.
where we
Thank
could
you,
go.
Tim. Shout out to Tim.
Yeah. So we had lunch.
Tim probably actually saved the day in terms of setting the tone and like us actually wanting to complete today.
Yeah.
We would not have attempted today in its entirety, I don't think, if it wasn't for Tim's reports and saying like,
true.
oh yeah, that's fine.
So we showed him where we planned on what our route was. Well, we actually were meant to stay.
Did get a bit of respect, sorry, but got a bit of respect from Tim when he realised that we'd taken these 2 bikes on like. There was a moment where we were, well, you guys did.
Where'd you come from?
Johnson Spur track. Oh, that's
well done.
Good job. Yeah. So.
And then he was suddenly impressed with the Tenere and said, "Can I take her for a ride?"
Yeah.
So we gave him the
I don't
keys.
know what he thinks about the Hemi. Come on, mate. Anyway.
So yeah, he was impressed / horrified. I think that we'd taken the loaded with our 3 weeks worth of stuff bikes on Junction Spur track and Scrubby Creek. But
anyway, point is, we wouldn't have done today
if
it wasn't for Tim saying that the rest of it was a piece of piss.
So
actually,
we showed him the map and he said, "Yep, I don't know the names of the tracks, but yep, that's where I go, and it's not too bad." He told us it would be an hour and a half to Omeo, and then
probably would have been
2 or 3 hours from Omeo on the Tom Groggin track.
Yeah.
So we had lunch there.
His exact words were, "I don't really know the Tom Groggin track, but I haven't heard any horror stories."
That's right, and we're not
and
really
we
sure.
took that as positive,
but we're not sure what level of horror is required for him to hear
Tim
a story.
looked pretty rough.
Like
Seems like the level of horror is pretty high.
I think it has to be multiple fatalities for him to really be for it to be on his radar.
Horrified. Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, 1 or 2. That's right.
So had lunch, had big lunch at Dargo that pepped us up, and then we. So I guess really the objective for today was Zeb's parents. Shout out to Dave and Alison who had they were meeting us here at Tom Groggin with camper van and all kinds of luxuries with dinner.
Brilliant.
And after last night being stuck in the bush,
wines,
the thought of actually making it here was pretty high on our minds as a top priority. So we did want to get here. And riding from Dargo to Omeo was great adventure bike riding. We picked up dirt roads, a couple of big hill climbs that was steep but easy riding. So that was fun. Some really nice vistas. It followed the creek for a bit. And then we took a bit of a track. I can't remember the name of the track. Can you? Beno?
Brun?
Yeah, something like that.
Brunner? Whatever.
Rather than that road, we took the track, and that took us on some kind of fire trail stuff that reconnected. And then there was some faster dirt road sections. You took a bit of a tumble on one of the fast downhills, unfortunately.
And that hurt. That was
carrying a bit of speed.
Went around a corner. It was very slippery. Front wheel slipped out, twisted, and down I went, and that twisted my ankle really badly.
Probably a good 40-ish km/h downing, I would say.
Yeah, that hurt. That's probably the most painful my ankle has been this whole trip.
And we'd just overtaken 2 cars on this dirt road.
And then they just cruised past, like, "You right?" And I was like, moaning, rolling on the ground. They just kept on poodling along. I was like, thanks guys.
And then after that, Zeb's bike had a couple of dramas. It kept flicking a misfire warning
from the drop, which was
and cutting out, not just a warning.
Yeah, just stopped.
So that was again like, okay, maybe Tom Groggin's not going to work out.
Yeah.
We got into Omeo. It seemed to be behaving by then.
Yeah.
You fueled up, which is good.
Yep.
And then we kind of just thought, okay, let's just do it. Worst case, we had enough stuff to camp again on the track if we needed to, and then make it here for the morning to I guess unite with your parents. So then we embarked on Tom Groggin through name of the town, starts with B.
Oh, bro, yeah.
We'll put this up on the thing as text.
Can't remember.
To that town, then onto Tom Groggin track, and all of that was really great. The tracks beforehand, nice dirt roads, nice fire roads. Then Tom Groggin track, it turns out it's certainly narrowed and got a bit steeper and a little bit rocky in sections, but pretty easy going. I'd say south to north felt pretty easy. The uphills, there's no big uphills, but then it does towards the end, and then you're going along the top. At the top,
great views,
incredible views. As you looked over to what would be the south side of the snowy mountain range, so Kosciuszko, which looks really steep and impressive from that angle, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Which was cool. and then the track starts dropping down, quite steeply actually. So I think the climb, if you were going north to south, I think it would
quite
be
steeply, but I also think some of the things we came up today were probably that steep.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, in terms of the direction of travel, I think the way we went south to north, it kind of undulated up pretty easily and then dropped. So if you did go north to south, I think you'd be facing quite a big climb.
Horrible way to start.
But what I would say is, if you're watching this to get the information, don't be daunted by that climb, because it doesn't drop like that at the other end.
Yeah.
And it's very tractionable the whole way if you're going in that direction. So then we dropped down to the Tom Groggin station, I guess it is.
Yep.
Alongside that, and then the last challenge of the day is, hang on, can we go back? What we didn't mention is when we were getting out of the Scrubby Creek track, and we thought we were there, home and hosed. We came down a bit of a track coming downhill, and we could see the Dargo River. I think it's the Dargo River.
Oh yeah.
And we thought, I hope there's a bridge here. And we could spits you down on the riverbed, on the river rocks, and there is no bridge. And it was at least the way we went, much deeper. Zeb walked it in advance, and then the last 10 meters you went, it looks all right.
It did look all right, and it was all right, because we got through. You're welcome, Joshua. Great forward scouting by Zeb. Let's move on.
We both filled our boots to the brim. I found that a really challenging crossing. It was just really slippery and big boulders that threw you off course.
Novice rider.
Thank you. But we kept the bikes upright. Better to flood your boots than your bike. So
I practiced yesterday by actually riding through the entire creek up instead of taking it past.
That's right.
I was old hat.
But that was a real bit of salt in the wounds for the old Dargo experience. The
Joshua.
Dargo trucks.
Not for me.
And then we got
Fresh
to the other
water, no
side.
salt here.
Let's not pretend you weren't salty at the time. And emptied our boots out. We got some newspaper at Dargo and shoved our boots, tried to dry them off as much as we could. Yeah. But then, anyway, so after that experience, we got to Tom Groggin, fast forward again.
Another creek crossing
that is quite sizable. It was a good 50 metres?
Nah.
It's
okay.
30,
25 metres as the crow flies.
Yes, but you have to do a bit of
salmon swims.
You have to do a bit of an arc.
50, yeah, if you're doing...
We waited 50
circumferential way that we
we both got... So I think we were both like, oh, here we go.
As a trout swims, actually. Sorry,
but actually, it was a nice solid base. We got through that, both remaining standing, didn't have to put feet down, so we didn't flood our boots. And then arrived to David waving us down, and they're already set up. We've had a swim, and I think what I wasn't expecting is for this point here to feel like success.
Yeah.
And it really does.
Yeah,
absolutely. It feels like we've pulled off this rather ambitious...
We've done it. We've made it.
A lot of reflecting today on how appropriate it was bringing Zeb on this itinerary. And I think I do need to say, well done. Not only has your riding improved significantly, but you've dug deep, and your resilience has been respectable.
Thank you. Can I just say
that
today on the ride, Josh is like, man, this is actually really nice. And I was like, yeah, thank God we're on something that's nice and I can do this. And he was like, this is kind of what I thought the whole trip would be like. And I was like, what? Because for the whole time, I've been like, man, Josh, okay,
I didn't plan any of that.
Okay, Zeb, you've just got to be better because Josh is expecting this of you. And this is obviously what basic riders should be approaching. And I just need to do this. And there were really some difficult moments in the trip. But I was like, Josh has planned this from the start. This must be normal.
Well, it's just what I thought it would be.
I'm just struggling.
So today was good adventure riding. What the trip was meant to be, which was just fire roads, easy riding, maintaining
4 hours
40 to
a
60
day,
k's an hour.
5 hours on the bike.
Yeah, we covered a lot of k's easily today.
Yeah,
that was great.
Brilliant.
So from the bottom of my heart, I'm sorry.
Yeah, heart's not very deep. That's pretty shallow.
So. Anyway, we made it though. What an adventure. I did ask you today, we were talking about the itinerary, and I said, we'll have a summary, I'm sure, but I did, to wave top that, I said, yeah, but what would you change? And he said, no, not much.
I said nothing, and then I
Backtracked
walked back on that rapidly. I was like, actually, no. Yeah, there's a lot of things I would change.
So, yeah, it feels really good to be here. Yeah. I'm feeling clean. My clothes are ready for a wash, all of that. We've still got a big day ahead of us, though. I think tomorrow we have 60-ish Ks into Jindabyne, and then another...
Or we might just go to Canberra.
Or we might cut that off. But we've got from Jindabyne, it's about 360 Ks mapped out through Cabramatta, and then towards Tumut through a combination of blacktop and dirt roads, no tracks, which is good, so it should be good riding, into Canberra. I'm not sure where we will ceremoniously finish. Maybe at my future house.
Oh yeah. Parliament House?
Could do that.
Is that your future
War
house?
Memorial?
Probably not.
Hopefully
that's not your future
It could
house.
just be Mooseheads, actually.
Let's go home.
So, yeah, nice to be coming to you from a relatively safe harbour, and look forward to. It's going to take us a while to catch up these videos now because we've fallen behind, and it'd be nice to spend some time with your parents. So, these will come out in the following days.
And shout out to Dale and Christine. We were going to call you and have a bit
true.
of a powwow with my parents, but unfortunately,
That's my parents, by the way.
yeah, sorry. Yes, my parents, but Dale and Christine, back off, they're my parents. But there's no reception here, so sorry, Dale and Christine. But
You're also probably bunkered down in the cyclone about to hit Queensland too.
yeah, so maybe you don't have reception either. Wishing you all the best.
Yes, very much. Also, I think we need a shout out to Ella, Max, and Liv. We've heard that your mum has been holding these videos ransom for you
and that's
to complete your
inappropriate.
chores.
That's disgusting, despicable.
Adventure videos should not be
Remonstratable.
withheld.
Yeah, no,
from
absolutely
people.
not.
You can watch adventure videos whenever you like.
Absolutely.
Ransom something else to Leah.
Yeah.
and-
Also, we're going to buy you ice cream.
Yeah, true. Ice cream's on us.
Yep.
We're going to work out how to logistically do that.
Yeah, cop that to Leah.
You can have it for breakfast if you like.
Yeah, whole tub, Neapolitan.
Oh, that's a bit much.
You tell us what. No. Actually, no. Okay, we'll stop now.
All right, not all.
Bye.
We made it back to Junction Spur track. Oh boy. Hopefully this one is all passable. Expect a couple of creek crossings and then a pretty decent sized hill. About 300 meters elevation, or no, what is it? 400 meters elevation over about 2 k's. Don't mind steep as long as it's not too rutted and janky. So it's coming up now. Give it a whirl. Let's see what happens. Tenere. Holy shit. Alright. How's it look? Oh, that looks okay. Where are we going? Shall we? Negative, Ghost Rider. Whew. Wow. I reckon I'll need you to ride this, bro. The final ascent, which has really taken its toll and proved a little too much for me. I think 3 or 4 times now. Joshua has heroically taken it upon himself to sip from the poisoned chalice and to ride the Himi up this hill. But he wants to get a bit of a run up first, so he's heading back down. That age-old method, tried and tested, of pig dogging. It's a technical term.
Solid ground to start.
This is solid ground to start. he goes. Oh, well done, Joshua. That'll do. Look at the handlebars. Whew. Alright, we are up on top of the ridge. We got the climb done. We go along the ridge for just a little bit now. It feels good to have some reception. We can check the fire. And then, yeah, tell everyone that we thought might be worried about us, that we're alive, but no one seems too concerned, which is good. I guess that means they trusted us. That was foolish. And now we're going back down. It was also, with reception, we could check the overlays. You know, like people have taken this path before, so that's good news. It means we have a reliable way out. Stunning view. If you can take a moment to look. I guess on the camera you can. I'm a bit preoccupied. Front brakes feel like I don't know. Steep, but not too bad. Oh, we can see townships, my friend, from the right side of the range. That is a nice feeling. Much nicer than the feeling in my swampy boot. You're good, you're good. I'm right next to you, so that you've got space to weave and duck and weave. Mate, if you can dodge a dodgeball, you can dodge a Himalayan. No, wait, that's not how it goes. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a Himalayan. Dip, duck, dive, dodge. Oh my lord. Oh, it's nice to be riding again, mate. It's nice to see you and your sore ankle after rolling around on the ground and your acute tiredness or exhaustedness. It's nice to see you this close to Dargo. If I'm honest, yes. Hey, look at this, flattens out down here. Size of relief so far from Zev is what I'd classify those as. We've decided to try to still make Tom Groggin. We dried out our boots and socks, got some newspaper in there. Not so swampy now, a bit of a breeze. We'll get to Omeo and then probably assess, but it's so green here. Beautiful, just hot. Yeah, no fires on the other side of the bridge. Beautiful pastoral land. Cool, our houses. Definitely keen to come back here. A bit sad we couldn't stay at the pub last night, because that would have been a really cool experience. But anyway, I'm glad to be out of the forest and back on the move. Yeah, that's great. This is definitely the high country. jeez, it's steep! Oh, I'm glad this isn't running out. Yeah, it's just an easy dirt road, Domio. Yeah, no dramas. I've been holding this position for so long. We found Kilimanjaro. This is it. Whoa, whoa, that's dangerous. If you can believe it, we are still going up from Dargo. The temperature's dropped to 21 degrees. I cannot believe how high we are. We are on top of the world. At least Australia. I'm going to check elevation soon because I feel like it's going to be an impressive number. 1,240 meters. Feels about right. Time to go down. Have some duct tape for your ankle. Must have speed in pretty hard there.
I really did. That's probably the hardest I've been doing so far.
Everything else okay?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Man, I hit the deck pretty fucking hard. Happy to be wearing a helmet. How's a GoPro?
Fine. Cardo's still there.
This police took a lot just then. My ankle really hurts. Why does this ankle keep getting fucked up?
Yeah, I don't know. You just come out wide into the loose stuff?
Hey?
You just come out wide into the loose stuff?
Yeah, I tried to. I was like, oh, it's alright, I can power slide this. And then. Hey. I was doing well.
So. Man does one power slide, next corner, I can power slide this.
That hurt my ankle a lot, though. That actually, that one, that hurt.
Mm.
They're getting worse. But I'm getting better.
Hey!
3, 2, 1, up. This bike is a fucking trooper. Aren't you, buddy?
Well, I'm kind of running out of fuel a bit.
Can you stop pulling it, pushing it? Stop it.
What do you want me to do?
Leave me alone.
Stop making me ride a motorbike. Okay, we turned off onto a Wenber camp track. There is another road we could have taken, it turns out. It would have been a bit more direct. However, this could be fun. If we can maintain a decent kind of pace on it, then it shouldn't be too bad. Alright. Well, we might regret this one. Or not. We might come out the victors. Pretty straightforward, it's rocky, but not big looks. Yeah, you go, mate. I'm in second. Oh, that's a big hill. Straight up the face of the earth. That's it. I've concluded the earth is not flat. You flat earthers out there, you need to think again after you've been in the high country. I missed it before, the GoPro battery was dead, but this valley that we're coming down into is absolutely stunning. Layers and layers of hills. It just goes for so long. There's some ridge lines in the distance that are so high above us. Very cool. And we've We've got a long way to drop down, I think. Heading to Denver Flat, where I'm going to hopefully catch 70. So the layers of hills in the distance are just really cool. Here we go, about 50 k's until Thai chicken curry, courtesy of David and Allison, Tom Groggin track. Let's see what they have to say. Caution, area has been subject to recent widespread bushfires. Visitors are advised to beware that trees, branches may fall, rocks and soil may be dislodged, track surfaces may deteriorate, hazards may be increased with wind or heavy rain and flooding. Alright, that doesn't sound too bad. Off we go. When we asked at the pub, the publican said, Tom Groggin track. No, I don't know it. Oh, yeah, I think I've done that one. I just don't know the names. Haven't heard of any horror stories on that one. Decent little hill climb on Tom Groggin. All pretty easy going though. It's steep, but easy riding. Steep and long. Wow, what's the colour of the bark on this tree? The vibrant orange. I can just imagine this being totally covered in snow in all these caps. Groggin track continues to deliver. There is an incredible view of the snowy range and Mount Kosciuszko kind of behind these trees. And from this face, Kosciuszko looks really impressive, much more than the northern, coming from the northern approach. So I'm hoping we get a clearing and we can actually see it, because it's a staggering mountain from this view. I think this marks a bit of the descent into Tom Groggin. We're about 10 k's away from Tom Groggin campsite. I'm expecting it to drop, and then we've got a bit of a, what can be a challenging creek crossing apparently. Okay. Well, that's Mount Kosciuszko up there. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'll focus on the ruts. It'll be a bit of a snotty little hill climb if you're coming the other way. It's fun. Rocky. A bit complacent now after the hills of Dargo. Here we go. Ah, that's cool. Check depth before crossing. That does seem like a good idea. We've previously not done that. It's not worked out well. Yeah, that was much easier. He's coming over. Any camper bands you recognise yet? Thanks, buddy. I'm also pretty happy knowing I'm safe. We're all happy Zeb's safe. Woohoo! Oh, there we go. Beep beep.